On February 15, 1980, Scott attended a session where Malcolm and Angus Young were working on the beginnings of two songs that would later be recorded on the Back in Black album, Have a Drink on Me, and Let Me Put My Love Into You, with Scott accompanying on drums rather than singing or writing lyrics. On February 19, 1980, Scott, 33, passed out after a night of heavy drinking in a London club called the Music Machine, currently known as the Coco. He was left to sleep in a Renault 5 owned by an acquaintance named Alistair Kinnear, at 67 Overhill Road in East Dulwich, South London. The following afternoon, Kinnear found Scott lifeless, and alerted the authorities. Scott was rushed to King's College Hospital in Camberwell, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. It has been contended that pulmonary aspiration of vomit was the cause of Scott's death, but the official cause was listed on the death certificate as acute alcohol poisoning and classified as death by misadventure. As part of the funeral arrangements, Scott's body was embalmed by Desmond Henley. It was later cremated, and Scott's ashes were interred by his family at Fremantle Cemetery in Fremantle, Western Australia. Inconsistencies in media accounts of Scott's death have been cited in conspiracy theories, which suggest that Scott was killed by exhaust fumes redirected into the car, or that Kinnear did not exist. Additionally, Scott was asthmatic, and the temperature was below freezing on the morning of his death. Shortly after Scott's death, the remaining members of AC/DC briefly considered quitting. However, it was eventually decided that Scott would have wanted them to continue, and after the encouragement of Bones' family that they continue, the band hired Brian Johnson as the new vocalist. His gravesite has become a cultural landmark. More than 28 years after Scott's death, the National Trust of Australia decreed his grave important enough to be included on the list of classified heritage places. It is reportedly the most visited grave in Australia.